This is my journey. My hope is for them to receive it. I just wanted to say that I apologize.
Wow.
I apologize. And here's the big one. For saying I didn't love you. With 7 quiet but devastating words, Leon Brown has finally shattered the carefully polished story their father, Kody Brown, has been feeding the world. I have not heard from that man. Mary and Kody Brown's eldest child broke their long silence to unleash a truth bomb that has left the entire Sister Wives fanbase reeling. For years, Leon has stayed out of the family's public battles. No interviews, no shade, no circus. But that silence has now been broken, and the message could not be clearer. Do you apologize that you are toxic to me? Leon returned from a deliberate social media break for one reason only: to call out their father's lies. Kody has repeatedly claimed, on television, no less, that he's been reaching out to his estranged children, that he's been the one trying, that they are refusing to reciprocate. But Leon says the truth is brutal. I have not heard from that man since my brother killed himself. 19 months. Not a text. Not a call. Not the tiniest attempt at compassion during what has been the darkest, most traumatic period of their lives. And it gets even uglier. Leon says Kody ignored them at Garrison's funeral. Picture that moment. You are grieving your brother. Your world is collapsing. And your own father, the person who should be holding the family together, looks straight through you like you don't exist. Multiple attendees recall the same disturbing scene. Kody arrived as if he were royalty, expecting respect, expecting sympathy, but giving absolutely nothing back. He brushed past children who once loved him fiercely, as though acknowledging their pain was beneath him. The verdict from Leon? He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. This bombshell comes right after episodes where Kody sits beside Robin in their expensive new home insisting. He has tried with every one of his children. He has reached out multiple times. The kids simply refused to respond for months. He has blamed everyone but himself. Christine for turning the kids against him, Janelle for indulging their disrespect, and now, even the children he abandoned. He even claims he's working on healing and might need therapy. Not for grief, not for accountability, but because I need to get comfortable talking to my children. How does that even make sense? You cannot simultaneously claim you are uncomfortable communicating and claim you've been the one reaching out nonstop. One of those stories is a lie, and Leon has now confirmed which one. The tragic timeline makes Kody's hypocrisy even more unbearable. March 2024, Garrison dies. The family is shattered. Hearts are broken. 19 months pass. Kody contacts no one. Instead, he shows up to the funeral like a celebrity. Peyton later confirms publicly he hasn't spoken to his dad since that day either. Michael T., once fiercely loyal, has begun speaking out too, saying her father simply does not have the capacity to show up emotionally for his children. Yet on TV, Kody paints himself as the victim. He reminisces about having a beer with Garrison the last time they were together. But after Garrison's death, he told People magazine he wished he had shared that moment because it never happened. He cannot even keep his story straight, not about living children, not about the son he lost. And now, the silence is broken. Leon, once private, once protective, has come forward to expose the truth. The father who demands loyalty, the father who demands respect, the father who demands forgiveness, never earned any of it.
This isn't a storyline.
This isn't reality TV. This is a family torn apart by ego, lies, and abandonment. And finally, one voice refused to stay silent any longer. Leon's decision to break their silence has opened a floodgate, because they are not alone. Across social media, more siblings have begun dropping hints, reacting to episodes, and quietly confirming what fans have suspected for years. Kody Brown only shows up when the cameras are rolling. He doesn't reach out. He doesn't apologize. He doesn't change. He simply rewrites the narrative and hopes everyone believes him. For years, Sister Wives viewers watched him build a legacy based on control, ego, favoritism, punishment disguised as religion. He crowned one wife, Robin, his queen. He erased the others like they were disposable. And he expected the children to choose sides, his side. But that is not love. That is not fatherhood. That is ownership. The funeral, The moment everything truly collapsed, family insiders have spoken quietly, carefully, but the message is the same. That day, everyone finally saw the truth. Kody didn't comfort Janelle. He didn't seek out his children. He didn't share in the grief. He walked in as though he were the one who needed comforting, as though he were the victim. It was the moment every Brown child realized they had already lost their father years ago. Meanwhile, on camera, a very different story in his new rented home. Sitting beside Robin, Kody performs repentance. Soft voice, heavy-sized, dramatic pauses. He talks about repairing relationships and doing the hard work. But if the work were real, if the remorse were genuine, if the regret were honest, Leon wouldn't have had to expose him. Peyton wouldn't have had to confirm the same. Michael T. wouldn't be stepping back. Gabriel wouldn't still be grieving alone. When love is conditional, it is not love. The children have grown up, and they are not afraid for years. The Brown kids protected their father's image. They defended the show. They avoided public conflict, but everything changed the moment Garrison left this world. He was the brother who stood up for the others, questioned lies, refused to bow to Robin's rules. Kody punished him for that independence. And fans watched the fallout. Now the children have united in a way Kody never expected. They are done with silence. They are done with enabling the act. They are done letting him rewrite the truth. One sibling spoke publicly. Another confirmed it. More are stepping forward every day. And what does Kody say? He is angry. Always angry. Angry that his children think for themselves, hold him accountable, see the truth the way the world sees it. But here's the hard reality. When the entire family tells the same story, the problem is not the family. Kody has spent years trying to convince viewers that he is misunderstood, the wounded father, betrayed by everyone around him. But now the people who know him best are saying, he abandoned us.
He lied about it.
And he refuses to face the consequences. The silence has ended. Leon's final message echoes like a warning shot fired straight at the heart of Kody's public persona. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. No more hiding behind Robin. No more blaming ex-wives. No more pretending. The children of sister wives have spoken. And the truth is louder than any storyline the show could ever create. Leon's words didn't just expose Kody. They detonated a bomb beneath the entire sister wives storyline, and the shockwaves are still spreading. TLC has built 12 years of television around the idea that Kody is a man trying his best to hold a huge family together. A flawed father, yes, but one who always cares. Now the audience is asking, if he can lie so boldly about contacting his own grieving children, what else has he lied about? Decreasing the Robin defense strategy. Robin, always eager to present herself as the peacemaker, is already trying to soften the blow. He's hurting. He feels rejected. The other wives turned the children against him. But viewers are seeing through it. Every time the truth leaks out from the children, Robin's defense only makes her look more complicit. Audiences now believe what the Brown children have said for years. Robin is not protecting the family. She is protecting Kody's ego. Clapperboard, the TLC camera problem. Sister Wives producers have a huge issue now. Kody keeps contradicting himself on camera. He says he's trying. The children say he's absent. He claims he's reaching out. Leon says 19 months of silence. He says he gave Garrison a beer. He also says he never got to share that moment. Every episode is now a collection of mixed stories, backtracked statements, contradictions, so obvious fans are keeping count, and viewers are furious that a dead son is being used for storyline sympathy, while his siblings' grief is ignored. Pushpin, the public opinion shift for years. Fans were split. Some supported Kody and Robin, others supported the original wives and kids, but now, nearly everyone has united behind the children. People are demanding accountability, honesty, and basic humanity. The court of public opinion is no longer a war, it's a landslide. Magnifying glass tilted left the patterns, exposed Leon's message, confirmed what the fanbase has pieced together. Kody, heavy checkmark, chooses favorites, heavy checkmark, punishes children for independent thought, heavy checkmark, uses religion to justify control, heavy checkmark, avoids responsibility, heavy checkmark, lies when the truth makes him look bad. It's the same pattern repeated across Marriages, Children episodes, years the narrative Kody built is collapsing under the weight of its own hypocrisy. Ice Cube, the truth nobody can ignore anymore. Everywhere Kody goes now, he faces the ghosts of his choices. The wife he ignored, the children he abandoned, the son he lost, the grief he refused to share. He is trying desperately to look like a wounded father who needs understanding. But Leon's voice is cut straight through the act. He is a liar. He is a joke of a father. And for the first time ever, the world believes the children. Kody Brown has mastered one skill above all others: rewriting history the moment it becomes inconvenient. We saw this play out recently with his claims about Garrison. In early interviews after the tragedy, he told People magazine he regretted never having that final beer with his son, that he wished he'd had one last father-son moment before everything fell apart. But months later on the show, suddenly he did have that beer. Suddenly, it was a meaningful goodbye. Suddenly, he remembers a touching moment that never actually happened, because that version paints him as the loving, heartbroken father, instead of the absent one who helped cause the very pain Garrison was drowning in. And that's Kody in a nutshell. When reality damages his image, he simply invents a new one. Kody loves to insist that his children have turned against him because their mothers, Christine, Janelle, and Mary, are poisoning them. Because surely grown adults like Logan, Michael T., Leon, Gwendolyn, and Gabriel couldn't possibly form their own opinions. Surely they couldn't recognize when a father repeatedly chooses just one household over all the others.
No.
In Kody's world, his children are naive clay, molded by bitter ex-wives and mean podcasters. He even claimed on a podcast recently that commentary channels are shaping his kids' opinions about him, as though Michael T. watches her father say something cruel on national television and then waits to see what YouTubers think before deciding whether she's hurt by it. It's delusional, because the children aren't responding to gossip. They're responding to their lived experience, being deprioritized, being criticized publicly, being lectured instead of loved, watching him choose Robin every single time Gabriel confronted him during lockdown and set it straight. You could have isolated with any of us. You chose Robin. That wasn't coaching from Janelle. That wasn't media influence. That was the truth, spoken by a son whose father vanished. And then we come to Leon. Leon's voice carries a weight that no one else's does, because they never speak publicly. Mary's only biological child, someone who grew up on the show and then stepped away entirely, choosing privacy over publicity. So, when Leon breaks silence, it means something is seriously wrong. They've now made it clear they haven't heard from Kody in 19 months, not even since Garrison's funeral. And the heartbreaking complication? Multiple reputable sources have confirmed that Kody's rejection of Leon is rooted in their gender identity, a direct refusal to accept who they are. Robin and her daughters allegedly joined in the cruelty, calling Leon evil behind closed doors. Mary continues to protect her child fiercely. But Kody? He has chosen his ideology over his own flesh and blood. Now, the show is teasing what they've called Kody's apology tour. Here's his belief. If he can patch things up with his ex-wives, his children will magically fall back in line. As though adults in their 30s still need permission to feel hurt. As though mending things with Christine will erase what Gabriel lived through. As though apologizing to Janelle will resurrect Garrison. Kody refuses to accept the simplest truth. His children's distance isn't caused by their mothers. It's caused by him. And yet, TLC continues to protect him. They let him claim he's reached out to every child. They let him cry about being ignored. They let him spin lie after lie without challenge. Meanwhile, the kids are on social media saying, "That's not true. He's lying." I haven't heard from him since the funeral. Multiple kids. Same story. One common denominator.
Kody.
And Robin. Here's the truth nobody wants to admit. Kody Brown would rather remain a reality television star than become a real father again. If he genuinely cared about repairing these relationships, he'd step away from the cameras and do the difficult, private work of rebuilding trust. Instead, he's still filming, still performing, still making up memories that never happened. Because for Kody, being seen is more important than being loved. Leon's statement is the beginning of the end. The facade is crumbling. The lies are finally being challenged by the very people who lived them. So now the question is, will Kody finally admit the truth? Or will he rewrite the story again and convince himself it was our fault all along? If Kody truly wanted reconciliation, he would start with the children he's hurt the most.
But no.
Instead of reaching out privately, instead of sitting down with Gabriel, instead of apologizing to Leon, instead of acknowledging the pain he caused Garrison, Kody decides the first stop on his apology tour should be Christine, the ex-wife who has already healed, built a new family, remarried, and moved on. He wants the cameras rolling. He wants the audience watching. He wants the apology to be content. Because what's the point of humble reflection if it doesn't air on TLC, right? Performing arts an apology that isn't an apology. Let's break down how Kody apologizes. He does not say, "I'm sorry for what I did." He says, "I'm sorry you feel that way." A masterpiece of deflection. He can't apologize for abandoning the marriage, so he blames Christine's mistaken perceptions. He can't apologize to Janelle for yelling at her sons, so he blames her poor leadership. He can't apologize to Mary for 10 years of emotional neglect, so he blames her inability to make friends with Robin. Every apology is a boomerang, thrown out briefly, but always comes whipping back to strike someone else. Prohibited what the children want is simple they do not want. Excuses therapists as gatekeepers, pity speeches on television, Robin speaking for him, another season of gaslighting. They want heavy checkmark accountability, heavy checkmark private, personal conversations, heavy checkmark consistency, heavy checkmark respect, heavy checkmark presence. It shouldn't be complicated. It shouldn't take 19 months after losing a brother to pick up the phone. Ice Cube, Robin's silent influence. If you listen closely during these scenes, you hear Robin's voice even when she doesn't speak. Her message is always implied. If they want a relationship with their father, they must come through me. She doesn't say the words, but she guards the gate. And Kody believes she is the only child worth pleasing, so he protects her daughters while blaming everyone else's. Even in grief, the family remains segregated. Fire the children are done. Gwendolyn has said it plainly. He's not a safe person to be around. Gabriel has stopped even trying. Michael T supports Christine's freedom. Peyton doesn't want contact at all. Leon has declared their father a stranger. Peyton says Kody ignored him too. These are not disobedient children rebelling. These are adults saying, enough. Cough in the shadow of Garrison, whether Kody admits it or not. Everything changed the day Garrison died. There is now a before and after in this family. Before, the fractures were painful. After, they are permanent. Every child now understands you cannot wait forever for a father to show up, because sometimes he never does. White medium star The Reckoning has begun. TLC is losing control of the narrative. Kody is losing control of his image. And the kids, finally, are done being silent. One voice started the storm. I have not heard from that man since my brother killed himself. Those words cannot be undone. Not by Robin. Not by TLC editing. Not by Kody's next invented memory. The truth has been spoken. And it is loud. For years, Kody controlled the story. He controlled how the marriages looked. He controlled how the children behaved. He controlled which truths were allowed to be spoken. But that era is over. Because the children, the ones who lived the consequences, are finally telling the world what really happened behind the cameras.
No editing.
No producer prompts.
No misunderstandings.
Just unfiltered reality. And reality is not flattering. Balance scale. The consequences are here. Kody can no longer hide behind Robin's comforting excuses. He can no longer point fingers at Christine. He can no longer blame Janelle or Mary. He can no longer rewrite memories that never happened. The kids are doing what the adults never could. They're holding him accountable. And accountability is something Kody Brown has never prepared for. Wilted flower, a father who lost the plot. Instead of rebuilding relationships, he rebuilt a new hierarchy. Instead of giving love, he demanded loyalty. Instead of hearing pain, he called it rebellion.
And now,
he stands alone with the life he chose. Because love isn't a contract. It isn't earned through control. It isn't a reward given to those who obey. Love is shown, not spoken. And Kody has shown them one thing clearly. Robin comes first. Always. New Moon the Legacy, he cannot escape when the final episode airs and the cameras turn off and the contracts expire. It won't be the audience he needs beside him. It will be the children who survived him. The ones he ignored. The ones he scolded. The ones he abandoned. The one he lost. And the world will remember this. When his children needed a father, Kody chose fame instead. Belle, and now, we watch what happens next because the story isn't finished. The kids are speaking. More voices are coming. The truth is pouring out faster than Kody can cover it. And TLC can't protect him forever. So make sure you stay right here, because I'll be following every update, every statement, every episode, every crack forming in that carefully constructed narrative. If you're as stunned, heartbroken, and infuriated as the rest of us, backhand index pointing right, hit like, backhand index pointing right, subscribe, backhand index pointing right, turn on the bell, because trust me, what's coming next will change everything you thought you knew about the Brown family. This isn't just reality television anymore. This is the reckoning.